Does that look like a city to you? At least it looks like a Ninjago start to a city, perhaps. So that's what we're building. And got off to a good start so far with bags 1 and 2. Got this Mr. Pale, I should put him in here, hot air balloon build kind of thing. I think it's like a hot air balloon, or maybe it's a propeller type thing. But yeah, we got kind of a Studio Ghibli looking build here. And we have the Griffin, Dragon, Hawk, Eagle. Almost looks like, well, it's definitely for Ninjago, but it almost just reminds me of Smog from Lord of the Rings, so, or from The Hobbit. So yeah, got some fun builds done so far and 2 minifigures. We're moving on to bag 3. This is Brick Therapy. So here's our channel logo. Lots of cool builds to show off as we start the live stream. So welcome as you join in. And this set here that I'm working on, I kind of have it at a lower level, but here's the box to the set 71814, Tournament Temple City, 3,489 pieces. It's a good one. It's got lots going for it. It's a Ninjago build. It's like a modular size build, and so we'll see when we get to the temple part. We haven't gotten to the structure yet, so we'll see what bag 3 brings. I see some potential. Yeah, I see some plates and some window or door frame pieces. So I think we might be getting to the structure in bag 3. And of course, I can always preview the whole thing and see what's going on. But bag 3 starts with a minifig, and this would be Aaron coming up next. Aaron with the ninja mask and, ooh, I don't know what that is. It's like a grappling hook type thing. Hey, Tommy Bricks. Welcome. First in, we got Tommy Bricks here. We got our one of our amazing moderators, and we're ready to go with this build. So try to get closer to my usual start time. Still a little bit later, but earlier than the time I posted. So it's within that general hour that I've been live streaming. So welcome. And let's get started with bag 3. And if you like Lego, if you like building Lego, you like talking Lego, you like collecting, or pretty much all the above, right? Then you are here at the right place, the right time to do all those things. And of course, keep it family friendly. And yeah, just share in the conversation going on in the live stream. I was gonna say share in the conversation this evening, but it really depends on where you are in the world. Some folks have joined us all the way across the world, literally. So people from Asia, people from the South Pacific, people from Australia, people from Europe. Sometimes we'll get the occasional chime in from people in like the Middle East, from Turkey, from, I'm trying to think. I think we had over the summer, we've had people join us from the African continent, for sure, all over North and South America. So it's just a fun way to connect with all the Lego people all over. And so, yeah, just welcome. Hey, Yellow. Welcome, Yellow Banana says, oh no, I'm depressed. I'm from Alaska. Well, there you go. There's another extended part of the globe. And thank you, Yellow, for being here. Well, this is a channel called Brick Therapy, so maybe we can get your mind off of things and talk Lego. And if you are a Lego collector and like to talk Lego, sometimes that helps. A little diversion. That's definitely why our channel is called Brick Therapy. We like to build and talk about things that just are fun in terms of building and creating and following these awesome directions to build a pretty fun looking structure, right? So eventually it'll look like the Ninjago Temple or Tournament Temple City, I should say. And if you have been a Lego fan for quite a while, I think the Ninjago theme's been around for, what was this? This was like the 15th, I want to say the 15th anniversary. So they have, if you look on the Lego website, they've got a couple commemorative pieces. I think it's 15 years. So what would that take us to? 2011, is that right? 2011, my math. I think that's right. I'm trying to think about it as I look through here. But yeah, Ninjago is a cool theme. I got back into Lego with my kids. And so, oh good, Yellow Banana says, yay, I like Legos. I like that. Let's go. Well, leave a like as you join in on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if this is a nice diversion for you. We like talking about Lego. And just to maybe cheer you up some more, Yellow Banana, we've got our collection back here. Can you spot all the different Lego themes on that table there? There's quite a lot. You can see Harry Potter, you can see Marvel, you can see Star Wars, you can see Ninjago. Actually very limited Star Wars representation. I have to put some of that there. We do have Lord of the Rings builds too, and I don't think I have anything behind me there. That's like half of our collection that we have on display there. So that one was kind of set up, and then we started to add to it, or my sons kind of did like a cool diorama display, and then it kind of obviously got bigger. So if you like building Lego, that's one of the cool things. So yeah, I got into Lego with my kids, and then obviously the interest, the renewed interest, I should say, the revitalized interest in Lego itself took off with their liking Lego. And then of course I perhaps took over the collecting to a new level, and have enjoyed building and sharing our Lego collection. My son and I did a bunch of live streams over the summer. We were building the Barad set, we were building the Lord of the Rings Barad set, the Rivendell set, and Star Wars, and just several themes in between. And the Harry Potter collection was kind of like one I did, not kind of, it's one I did over Christmas, or no, after Christmas break. And yeah, sometimes I'll do smaller live stream builds, and then this one's going to be substantial. So we'll see how fast it goes. This could be something I might need to plan out more, because usually, because it's a live stream, I will, engage in the conversation with folks when they have an idea or something they want to ask about Lego, and then we kind of get into different topics about Lego, or collecting in general. Or yeah, some people talk about where they live. So like Yellow Banana, you can tell us about Alaska. That's an amazing state, not part of the continental US, so you have to travel very far north. The environment there is just so rugged and what would you call it? Almost pristine. A lot of it just out there in the wilderness and untouched, and just one of the most unique places of the US. And there's been a couple YouTubers that do a lot of outdoor type of programs and showing what camping is like up there. So we've really gotten to enjoy what we see, or as a family, we enjoy what we see about how they just show everyday life in Alaska. And man, you guys got some rugged folks up there, especially when it's winter time and you're driving through all that snow and what we consider, where I am, we're down on the west coast of the US. There is no weather like that over here. I guess you'd have to go searching in the mountains for that. So in any case, let's talk Lego. And if you have some cool facts that you know about Lego sets, other Lego themes, definitely share in the chat. Those of you listening in the background as people come and go. What are the gas prices there? I heard that it's $8.36 a gallon in Alaska, says Tommy Bricks. Whoa, which is ironic because there's so much natural resources up there, especially in terms of underground like resources to oil and everything. But whether it's actually taken out of the ground and then of course processed and refined, that's another story. But oh my goodness, that is crazy. I was saying yesterday, when my family and I, we lived overseas in Europe for about 10 years. They do gas prices in liters, and so you could be fooled if you don't do the conversion factor, to metric. But it was when we were there, it was around €1 or like $1.50 a liter or so. This was up to a couple years ago. And then if you do the conversion, it would definitely be around that $8 a gallon type of price. So um, the cars over there, a lot of cars use diesel gas, which gets better mileage. But yeah, it was something where you didn't want to think about. But of course, the cost of living was different also. There was a lot of trade-offs, I guess you could say. So in terms of like just buying everyday groceries and everyday living, that was a lot more affordable. Living expenses, we rented an apartment or a house. We moved quite often, but yeah, the living expenses were a lot less where we live. We weren't anywhere. Well, no, we were fairly near a big city, but it wasn't like it is now with the prices for everything. But yeah, still remember that though. If you did the equivalent, the conversion actually might be more now. I don't know what the gas prices are in Europe, but yeah, like on average about $8 a gallon. So if that's the way it is now regularly in Alaska, that's one state I did not think it would be as much, considering how much natural resources will potentially come from there. Actually, I don't know. I'd have to do the research on that. But yeah, what are they in your guys' area? Out here in the West Coast, they're right now, as of this afternoon, they were about $5.70 a gallon, which is just crazy to think about. Thankfully, we don't drive it very far. We don't have a long commute in the morning. But those people that go far, we were kind of gauging the prices. It was funny. We were talking about, what could be some fun Lego themes that come out in the next year or so that could be based on like movies or something. And I was talking about, Die Hard would be a fun 80s movie, since they've done Goonies and kind of other nostalgia type movies. Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is not from the 80s, but like, or Back to the Future. But then I guess Die Hard's probably a little too on the militaristic side of things, the way the movie plays out. Anyway, there's a scene from that movie where the camera pans across and it shows the tower, the building that's the kind of the stage, the setting for the movie. And as it pans across, it shows the gas prices where they show the building in the background, and the gas prices. This movie was 1989, I think, and I distinctly remember 75 cents a gallon for gas. I'm like, oh, could you imagine that? Oh, so different. Mage, oh my goodness, Mage is back. So good to see you. Mage says, I got a fake Lego Death Star. Oh, did you get which one, Mage? I've seen different versions of those, and I can only guess. I was actually the new one. So you got the UCS version of it, which to me, looking at different places that sell the fake Death Star, you're talking about like a 10% price comparison. Like it's 10% of what you'd actually pay for Lego. I can't believe how discounted it was. Wasn't it like less than $200, Mage? At least that's what I saw online. Have you built it? Have you started building it? Mars Toy. Oh, okay. 350. What's AID? What currency is that? 350 AID. Built the minis. Mars Toy built the minis. Wow. So I'm assuming that's what you meant when you said you got the new one. I'm thinking you got the UCS one. I've gotten, autocorrect. Oh, is it Australian dollars? 350 Australian dollars. Mars Toy. All right. So the UCS knockoff, 350 Australian dollars. So how much is the regular UCS Lego in Australian dollars? So okay, 160 US. So yeah, like, well, a little bit, not as low as 10%, but pretty darn close. Maybe like 12% of what the actual price is. Dude, $1,500 for 1,500 Australian dollars for the UCS Death Star. That's a paycheck for a lot of people. So that is intense. So what do you think of the build so far, Mage? Have you actually unpackaged it, opened it, and all that stuff? I've gotten a few of those knockoff sets, and I know there's some supposed Lego purists out there that will say, you know, don't do that, and I can understand some of their reasoning behind that. But I've gotten a few to test the quality, not to add to my collection necessarily, but I was really wanting to see what the build was like, and especially sets that I just can't find for very much a good price at all. Finding the first bag, says Mage. But yeah, the build quality is, I guess it depends. A couple of them, it's like, it felt like Lego quality actually. And then others, you could tell the bricks were just like a lighter plastic and seemed brittle. They don't break on you. The minifigures are the ones that are not that great. Like, I don't know how they do the mold on those things. Obviously it's not the same quality, but like the minifigs come like in even more, what would you say? More disassembled. So like the legs are taken off the torso piece. You got to put all the legs together. But then the hands that snap into the arms, oh my goodness, you need like a vice grip to get the darn hands in there. So sometimes, a couple times I put the hands in the arms and it just snaps off. It breaks because it's just not molded correctly. But the builds though, even with the Lego or the brick part, even with the brick part, it's once you kind of do the finished product, it's really good. Like, you probably have seen, Mage, I did the Orthong Tower. That was a Lego knockoff, and I talked about the build, but after I finished the whole thing, it turned out really good. It had some missing pieces, not some major ones, but I did have to pull from my own extra Lego piece collection. Several plate pieces were missing, and you know, sometimes that can be really hard, especially if it's a set that has some really different colors. But yeah, with Star Wars or that Orthong Tower where it's just gray or black, usually those are easier pieces to find and get a hold of. So very fun. Let's see, finding that first bag. Sometimes the hands are loose. Yeah, there's definitely the minifigures where it's like, yeah, the quality is not there, and you're not going to try it. This is definitely not a collection piece. Like, I mean, it's not going to accumulate in value, but the build is there. You have the experience. You didn't go crazy on the purchase price. And then for me, it was like, okay, I want to do this build because it's discounted so much. I want to do this build to see if I can, if I'll enjoy the real set later on. Which the Orthong Tower, I'd like to get the original Orthong Tower at some point. But yeah, I was like, oh, at least try the build. Is the build worth it? Because buying the used collector version, the aftermarket version of some of these Lego sets is pretty expensive. So it was definitely worth it to me to get the knockoff set and then just see, okay, how great is the build? The build is great. Okay, now I know. I got my test product, so to speak, and it was totally fun. So thanks for the 10 likes, everyone. I don't know why the numbers aren't matching. The 10 likes are great, and it's like there's only like 2 people out there watching, but I know there's more people. So thanks for being here. Hey, there's John Powell. Good to see you back, John Powell. Thanks for being here. Tommy Bricks with the high fives, and Mage, so cool. You got the knockoff UCS Death Star. You have to tell us how that fares, if the build is worth it. Did you get the do they have a knockoff version, the fake version of the gift with purchase, that little X-Wing, or not the X-Wing, the little TIE fighter that people were totally bummed out about as far as like a gift with purchase goes for that set? I think I've seen it on the AliExpress website. You could actually buy the knockoff version of the gift with purchase. However, I think it's only the ship. Like it didn't come with the stormtroopers or the pilot. Just the ship part, the build of just the build of the ship. I don't know how else to say it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I did another YouTube short because I was looking at knockoff Lord of the Rings sets, and then I found the gift with purchase that came with the Barad-dûr set back in 2024, that the Fell Beast. And it was funny because the box and everything, they made a knockoff version of the box, or the fake version of the box, and it was like the Feel Beast, and one part was only right-handed, not a left-handed version or something, but it was kind of funny to build those things. Mage says, we'll keep you all updated. No GWP, unfortunately. No worries. I know I've seen that one on, well, I guess it depends on the vendor you look at, because you mentioned Mars Toy. So I haven't heard of that one. That would be, I wonder if that one is specific to your region, or if it's just something that you could get from anywhere. That's kind of interesting. So as we build and talk, thanks for being here. And got some new viewers that chimed in. Yellow Banana from earlier up in Alaska. Welcome to the people up in Alaska. And this is set 71814, the Tournament Temple City, 3,489 pieces. And I think, let's see, this is the platform so far that I'm working on. So this is kind of neat. Finally getting to the structure build. I'm guessing it's got to be one of the outer sections here that I'm building. Maybe, but I can't tell because this is a triangular base plate, and I don't really see that shape in the picture. So I'm gonna sort of just keep what do you call it? I'm gonna sort of keep that part secret to me, I guess, or unbeknownst to me, because I like building and discovering what is going to come next, and not necessarily okay, this is this side of the platform and so on. I want to just build this and enjoy it as it comes together. So anyway, I was trying to guess, and I can't tell. The picture's not giving away what part of the build is, so we'll see. Maybe it's I would assume it's one of the, like on the end of the bridge here, the dock maybe. But then I look over here, but nothing here has like a triangular shape to it. So, and I don't, is there another side build that I'm not seeing? This totally reminds me of a toy I got as a little kid. If you guys remember the TV show Gilligan's Island, they had like a pool toy, but it was like, basically it had the boat and like an island, and it had like these little tunnel things that the boat could sail through. It was so fun. I have no idea where that toy ended up. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know, just random thought. It reminds me of Gilligan's Island. I think Chris Vick said, hey, what about Gilligan's Island Lego set? I'm like, that'd be kind of fun. I don't know what the licensing would be for that one, which studio owns the rights to that. Probably, I would guess somebody like Warner Brothers, but now Warner Brothers is owned by someone else. So who knows, but it just reminded me of that. Well, keep us updated. Love it. Mage Wizard with the UCS build, i.e. knockoff build. So those are interesting. That one would be with the knockoff sets and the quality of bricks. That would be an interesting one. I saw Brixie, this is like probably when his channel first started. This is a long time ago, but he bought the fake UCS Millennium Falcon. And I don't remember him doing the build. I just remember him doing a drop test on it. Maybe because at some point he got frustrated with, or not frustrated, maybe he's like, you know what, it's a fake Lego set. let's just prove how fake it is. And then he totally did climb up the ladder and launch the Millennium Falcon off the roof or off the ladder and just do a slow-mo video of it crashing to the ground. I think videos like that were popular for a little while there, drop tests and such. But it was interesting to see, like, he's like, now I can afford the real thing. So he got rid of it. But I don't think I would do that with any Lego, real Lego or fake Lego set. I just don't want to see those pieces go crashing to the ground and being destroyed. I would be so sad to see all that. And then you don't want to walk on Lego. And so if it was randomly done outside somewhere, like in our back patio or something, and then you just happen to be out there barefoot, sometimes you might do that. That would not be a pleasant thing to rediscover in your feet. So there we go. All right, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe this is the top of the, maybe it's this part up here. So I like this red bridge that goes across, by the way, to the dock. It looks like there's a water wheel on this side, or what would you call that? Almost like a draw. Oh, it's a little crane, actually. It's a little crane. There's a water wheel on this side. This is a cool build. I'm kind of looking forward to, or I am looking forward to seeing what the mechanics of all this turns into as I add some pieces there that are definitely gonna have, I would assume, some kind of rotating effect to it. So there we go. So hopefully the live stream is coming through okay, because the chat seems delayed, and maybe you guys are just enjoying and listening in the background. And you know, it is a Tuesday night. Maybe things have slowed down, but thanks for being here. I already got 10 likes, which is really cool. And just building up this Ninjago. Yeah, this Ninjago set. I don't know why that sounded weird to me. And then I was looking at yesterday. I was trying to see. Stream is fine. Thanks, John Powell. Just wanted to make sure. Wanted to see if there's other new sets that were coming out. I'm so on the edge. It looks like, ooh, I didn't notice this. It looks like there's double insider points. When did this happen? Or no, maybe it's Lego just advertising it. It has like a double insider point banner on the Lego website. So let me go to offers, because that's pretty well advertised. Don't miss out. Loyalty points. Oh yeah, double insider points. Oh wow, like 2 days left. I didn't even realize they were doing double insider points. So these are the times where if you have your budget ready to go, you've saved up, these are the times you want to take advantage of something like that. There's double insider points. Of course, the best is when you can max out and get double insider points plus a gift with purchase, but I don't see anything. And they have a sale on sets. I don't know if there's anything really decent on sale. This is kind of like, what would you call this? Like an off month for Lego before Easter and all that. What do they got? They don't really have anything on sale in terms of sets, keychains and whatnot. Okay, so that's random. So what is Lego doing to entice people to buy double insider points? This is where I was about to say I'm really interested in the Titanic set, but I don't know. The Titanic, getting it with double insider points would definitely max out on, let's see, because you get 4,420 points, so that'd probably be, what would that be the equivalent of? Like about a $25, maybe $30 discount by itself. You double that, that's 8,000 points. So that's like well over, that's probably like a $65 discount if you buy a set like this with double insider points. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of tempting. And it's back ordered. Oh no, wait, it's not back ordered anymore. What do you know? It's kind of cool going on there. All right, now I'm curious, is the Avengers Tower, John Powell mentioned the Avengers Tower yesterday being a must-have for Lego collectors. How is that set doing in terms of being available? It's also available now. Wow, Lego's caught up on its inventory, at least stateside. So there are some things to consider. I don't know how far I'll get with Lego sets, but this year, but that is one. The UCS has been something, and I just don't know what to say. Um, so yeah, Mage Wizard, didn't I do that already? Stream is fine. Thanks, John Powell. I think I found bag one, says Mage. There you go. They're not labeled that great. It really depends, Mage, on those knockoff sets. If they're numbered even the way you think, it's not always logical. There we go. Thanks for the hearts. Wasn't it double points on certain sets? Well, I'm looking on the website, John Powell, and it just says double insider points from now until well, let's double check. Was it only for certain sets? That would make more sense because it's not that of an exciting banner that they have here. Double insider point. Oh, you're right. Double insider points on selected sets from now until March 26th. So that won't work for the Titanic. Oh, it's very selected. Glad you clarified, John Powell. Thanks for pointing that out. So the one thing on that list of double insider points would be they have the upscale figure, the racing driver minifigure, the Octan guy. That's those upscale minifigures are really cool to get. After that, it's very random, and to be honest, not that compelling. There's a couple brickhead sets and very random. That decorative Easter egg set, Mario Brothers build, Technic build. Oh no, maybe not. A tipping dump truck. So I don't even know if people are aware that these sets exist. This is, talk about a random assortment of Lego sets. Like, these are the double insider point sets. That ain't happening. That's a no-go for me. But it would, if you just happen to be buying this and you're in the Lego Insider membership, the Octan upscale minifig guy, he's a good one. That'd be a fun one to have. I like the fact that there's 3 of those out right now. 4 actually, right? There's the astronaut now, I think the Santa, unless he's like seasonal, which I doubt, the Octan guy, and then the regular upscale fig guy, does he have like a blue hat? He's just kind of a regular looking Lego minifigure. But upscale, I think I found bag one, says Mage. John Powell says, yeah, top of main page has all current offers. Yeah, I saw that. So like they're all kind of like little hyperlink images on the website, and I just saw double insider points. It didn't say for what, so I was like, oh, are you kidding me? But it's definitely for selected sets. Oh well, it is good to know though that the Titanic is back in full circulation. That was one, if I have it on my wish list, but that was one I was like thinking, oh, because it's retiring, maybe that set won't reappear, and it's on back order, and then it's kind of like, that's it. It's gonna just be gone, because that's a good size set to put back in production and all that stuff. But obviously a popular set. It's been out for at least 2 years now, and so sets that big, like the UCS Millennium Falcon or the Venator, sets that big that have been in circulation, haven't retired. That's quite a lot of Lego pieces to reproduce in the factories. So the door is still open for that. That and the Avengers Tower, I think that one's also retiring this year. So I really like the look of both those sets. The Titanic is the kind of the upscale version, or not upscale version, UCS version of a set I would be super interested in getting, and okay with not getting minifigures, because I just like when you buy Lego, at least for me, is when I collect Lego, I like the fact that, you know, if you're getting a big set like a Barador, like a Rivendell, like a Millennium Falcon or whatever, that you get the minifigures also, or you get minifigures also. And like when I get these big Ninjago sets, I love seeing this on the bottom. Like, oh yeah, a whole row of minifigures. It just adds to the fun of the collection, the build, and having this set. But the Titanic is such a cool looking build by itself, such a great looking model. Like that literally is just a model piece that you just want to enjoy and have on display. That's one that is one I'd be like, that is totally fine just to have and put on display. Don't need the minifigures. I mean, you know, if it came with a sea captain or something, but as a tribute to the ship by itself, I think that's good enough. And I, you know, if you, it's kind of got that, oh, what would you call it? That history. You know, this is a doomed, this is a doomed vessel. And so if it did come with minifigures, these minifigures would be the ones where you're like, well, we know the fate of these minifigures. Well, for sure the captain, depending on who the passengers were. Obviously, a lot of the first class passengers were able to go on the lifeboats. But they were very gallant back then, you know. Women and children first on the lifeboats, but I think it really started with, you know, the first class passengers. But then a lot of the men on the ship went down, especially the crew and staff, and the captain went down with the ship. And of course made famous by that movie in the 90s. So yeah, interesting, such an interesting part of history though. This is like some of those parts of history that are just fascinating, no matter, you know, what the backstory is. Just a fascinating part of history. Obviously they made a movie of it, and there have been people that have actually taken quite a risk to go down into the depths of the ocean to see the remains of the Titanic on the ocean floor, like that submarine. That was like, what, a few years ago, that submarine that went down looking for it, and that one didn't come back up. So it's got a crazy history. So yeah, getting a Lego Titanic with minifigures, I guess that'd be kind of a, you know, that and because it's based on real life, that those minifigures might represent the folks going down with the ship. I say that, but if you're into history itself and that type of history, those doomed voyages or vessels, I remember Lego did a Amelia Earhart gift with purchase, and they had her basically, you know, it was a build of her airplane and her as a minifig, as the pilot, of course. And, you know, she disappeared as well and never returned. So I guess, you know, the Titanic Lego set could have a minifigure when you think about it that way. I was just kind of thinking through all that. Tavia, I'm glad you're here as I build. I think I'm getting close to, or I'm getting some structure build now going on here. I was trying to figure out where this was in the build of the Tournament Temple City. This is 71814, 3,489 pieces, a 14 plus set. And I believe, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 minifigures. So, oh, and I gotta build Aaron with the grappling hook type of weapon here. So is Aaron a good guy or a bad guy? Tavia, you probably could tell me that. I'm gonna post my sets when I'm done building one. Very cool. Mage says it's a big set. Yeah, not compared to the one you're building, I guess, Mage, but pretty substantial though. That is for sure. Any set that goes above the 1,000 piece count is a big set. And the one I did before was almost 1,000 pieces, the Bad Batch shuttle. But this will be fun. Haven't done a big structure since the modulars, the assembly square build. So we'll see. I definitely will need. I need my son's help on these type of builds, so it goes faster. So I don't do like a month worth of live streams on one set. So maybe I'll have to alternate between builds, just so people go, oh, he's just working on Ninjago forever. But I'll think about that. I'll have to build. I'll have to build like maybe work on 2 projects at once for the live streams. I do have this Avengers ship I wanted to do together. The one from, what would it be from? The Age of Ultron. I think it's not current, or I mean the set came out way after the movie, but it's definitely on that theme, which I've appreciated. I like that Lego's done kind of like the Avengers Tower build, the big Avengers Tower build. They've done sets from the MCU movies, even though the movies are, you know, going on like 10 years old or 5 years old or whatever, but they still do sets based on the movies, like the airport battle or something like that. The movies have been out and released and basically part of movie history now, but they're still doing the sets. So that's cool. I guess kind of like Star Wars. Star Wars goes between the Lego sets that go for Star Wars go between stuff that's new, like I guess the upcoming movie for the Mandalorian Grogu. But then they go back and do like Phantom Menace sets and original Star Wars. Obviously the UCS set that came out in the spring, or no, the fall, October. What am I thinking? October 1st. So I'm in the spring now. It's a big set, says Mage. Tobias says, Aaron is a hero, but in season 2, he joins Raz in a search for his parents. Ah, okay. Yeah, because Aaron, all these other characters, I don't know, beyond that. And then where is Garmadon? Is Garmadon like not in these anymore? I haven't seen him since, gosh, I think since I built the Ninjago City docks. But yeah, Aaron I didn't know about. So here's Aaron hanging on to the Mr. Pale's propelled hot air balloon looking thing. So Tavaya, you could be an authority on this. Is this like a hot air balloon type craft, or it's like a blimp? Maybe it's like a little blimp, but it's got the basket below. So I was thinking, oh, it's kind of a fun build for Mr. Pale here. Oh, okay. Now we're getting some. Now we're getting into some more texture build. Getting into the. I guess it might be one of the side corner pieces or sections of the Tournament Temple City. We'll see. John Powell says, I finally started taking apart my UCS AT-AT. Basically, just have the legs left. Oh, nice, John Powell. Are you doing that backwards process that you'd mentioned before, where basically as you take it apart and rebag it, that it's basically like following the order of the way it was originally packaged, so like the numbered bags, which I like doing that. I like reorganizing Lego. So Tommy Brick says, oh man, the UCS set AT-AT, I've got that on the play scale version. Yeah, Tommy, didn't you build that with, I want to say you did a collab with Brick together on that. The merge sent Garmadon to an unknown place where Wu is dead. Oh no, Master Wu? Seriously, Tavaya? Crazy. Tanner's here. John Powell says, yeah, bagging it up in reverse order. Let's go. That's what I'll do next time. So if I take apart any of these sets, I don't know, Daily Bugle won't come apart. I like Daily Bugle to just be built. But yeah, maybe, we'll see. Star Wars sets definitely take up a lot of room. I don't really have too many sets that I would disassemble. Probably maybe the Jurassic Park one I built on the live stream. The Harry Potter ones, depending on if I want to reconnect those. Yeah, I gotta figure out organization here. But yeah, doing the reverse order packagings, I like that. Tommy Brick says, I built the little one with the, yes, that's the one. You built the MIDI scale AT-AT, I thought so. Oh, good, Tanner. Everyone's okay now. Good. Gosh, that's crazy. Emergency services called. What in the world? Glad everyone's okay. So welcome, Tanner. Must be okay since you're joining the live stream. Things have calmed down, which is always a relief. And good to see you back here and joining us on the live stream. In case you join, you're like, what's being built? This is being built. Ninjago Dragons Rising theme, 71814, the tournament Temple City, 3,489 pieces, 13 awesome looking minifigures. And this build came out in 2024, or this set came out in 2024. It's still out there. It's not retired, if you're wondering, curious about that. And it basically goes for the same price as if you were getting one of the Ninjago City modulars, which is usually the only big Ninjago sets, or really any Ninjago sets I'll get are the modular sets. Having started out with the original Ninjago City modular, that's my favorite set of all sets. That is the GOAT for me. But this one's pretty cool. Nothing can match up to the original Ninjago City modular, but these definitely complement it. I like having a bit of Ninjago builds and theme in the collection, and then obviously putting them together. Just a lot of fun texture and pieces and stonework and all that good stuff. So this is going to be cool. The Dragonstone, or was it there? Oh, the Dragonstone, or what was this one called? Oh my gosh. The Temple Bridge. Oh my gosh. Anyway, also part of the same series of the Dragons Rising series. But yeah, just the Ninjago builds are so cool. Very fun to look at. Tavaya giving us some more background. Masako, status unknown. Overlord, status unknown. Every other main character that got screen time, status unknown. Ooh, what are the creators, the writers of Ninjago doing? They got the fans on a bit of a, what would you call it, a cliffhanger maybe? So that is interesting. And I think I've asked this before, Tavai, and maybe it's an easy answer, but where do the Ninjago episodes air? Like if you want to watch, whoops, I was putting this upside down. If you want to watch any of the Ninjago episodes, I've seen, maybe it's on YouTube. I don't know. I've seen clips on YouTube, but where would you watch if you you wanted to catch up on the series and see what was all going on? Where would it be aired? They're all on YouTube. Oh, well, there we go. Do you have to subscribe to anything, or they're just out there? Does Lego put it out there to watch? I saw for the, oh, okay, you watched them on the Peacock Network. Because when Lego released the 15th anniversary sets, I know they showed, or they still have probably, they had season 1 available. Like you could watch, and it starts out with the blacksmith shop, which is, I think that was season 1 that they were letting, just watch free on YouTube. But I didn't know if you needed a subscription to catch anything else. So good to know, Tavai, good to know. Okay, let's see if I do this right. I got a corner piece and it must go in. Okay, cool. There's only one stud to connect it. All right, can I tell now? Where is this? Where is this part of the build? I still can't tell. It's got 2 windows or entryways. It's got to be somewhere on the bottom. Maybe there's so much texturing going on. It's like the base of down here somewhere. This tunnel, that's my guess. It's like down here somewhere. I guess we'll find out. But this is bag 3. And then I got to put Aaron together. I have not finished with Aaron. So they're all on YouTube. And I see them on Peacock. Lego creates all the seasons along with the Ninjago movie and the Day of the Departed. A while ago, they made the pilots. Yeah, the Ninjago movie, I want to say that came out when around 2017 or 2018. John Powell says, yeah, Tommy, I took apart the retired play scale one a while back. Also have that set still not open in the box. I'm looking for the Endor bunker set, says Tommy. Hey, Tommy, can you confirm, are they going to do another Ewok Village? I know that was brought up in one of our live streams, if they're going to redo the Ewok Village. Or I guess like another, what would you say, like another version of it? So that is, that's going to be pretty sweet. I got a friend who wants that. He was considering buying the used version of that, or yeah, like the retired version of that, and it's just like over, I don't know, it's like over $1,000, I guess. It's a pretty intense price. So he'll be, I'll have to ask him if he knows. He's got to know if that new Ewok Village is going to be worth getting. If it will it live up to the older one. That older one I think came with quite a few minifigures. And now I'm thinking about it, I know I looked it up in the live stream. What did the older version have? It was a pretty sweet set. If you are a Lego Star Wars fan, you got a lot of figures from that, and it was cool that it wasn't, again, one of the cool parts of sets like that is it's not a Star Wars ship, but it's more of a, yeah, just like a actual setting, a place, and a big setting at, in that case, or in that sense. So this looks like, what does that look like? A little roasting fire pit right there. So many fun little accessory builds to the Ninjago theme here. And there we go. There was another Ninjago set that came out when the Ninjago movie sets were coming out. It was the Battle of the Ultimate Weapon. And I don't know, this kind of reminds me of that also. So Tommy says, yes, they're supposed to be making a new Ewok Village. Supposed to be coming out in October or November. Oh, wait, okay, we're way into the fall. Yeah, new Ewok Village is coming out. That would be one I would add to my wish list. I don't know, like collecting Lego. I'm thinking I'm gonna be, I don't know, what would you say, more strategic this time around? Oh, I forgot. Gotta add a little cornerstone piece here. There we go. I gotta be more strategic this time around this year. There was, like, when I got back into Lego, it was all about just finding deals, and I would get all, so many different themes. Lego City, of course, Lego Marvel. I get all the small little build sets, the little creator 3-in-1s. And there was another, like Fortnite, there was another theme that Lego came out with around the 2019s, 2020s, early 2020s. Now I can't think. It was based on another game, Overwatch. And those kind of look cool because those reminded me a little bit, oh, or maybe a lot of like a theme that could, some of the builds definitely fit into the Ninjago look, or like a Bruce Lee type of look, like a 1960s movie. So the Overwatch sets got a couple of those, but then, you know, over time, you're like, your collection gets just basically out of hand. You're like, how many of these different themes? Now I just like the big Lego builds. That's what I liked originally anyway with Ninjago City, just the large scale builds. So you get a few of those, and that's really all you can kind of handle price wise and budget wise, and obviously not too many of them. But yeah, Overwatch, that would be fun. Oh, this is all one piece, this little grappling hook thing for Aaron. It's all, so this goes into one of these little various use of this handle here, different versions that could be used for different types of builds and functions. So Aaron, oh, I gotta add his This is a different Aaron. I'm thinking, isn't there an Aaron Ninja also? Isn't he got the green? But this is a different Aaron. Or is it the same Aaron? Anyway, there's no real green other than the handle to his build. But there we go. There's the third minifigure in the build, Aaron, and he's basically fighting Mr. Pale. Like it sees a little clash here. I guess he like hooks on to the hot air balloon thing here, and he's taking him out. So, or trying to take out Mr. Pale here on the box picture here. So that's kind of fun. John Powell says, if it's the size of the old village, it's going to be crazy expensive. Yeah, especially Lego knows there's going to be a huge demand for it. That's a good point, right? If the used version of the Ewok Village, I think it's already priced around $1,200, $1,300, then to do a new one is definitely gonna, and Lego is so arbitrary with the Star Wars Lego prices. Oh, that's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be crazy expensive, like you said, John Powell. Tavai says, a couple more days and Dragon's Rising Season 4 comes out. Aha! Tavaya giving us the updates. I'm glad we got a Ninjago expert here in Tavaya, which is good. All right, let me do part of bag 4 because it kind of finishes up the corner section of here, and I'm still not 100% sure where this bill belongs in the picture. Usually you can tell, but I guess for Rivendell and Bardor, it was very distinct what you're building here, but I'm guessing it's down here. Actually, now it looks like it is because now I'm seeing a lot of gray pieces. It's got to be this layered part here, which is kind of fun because it's, again, keeping you guessing as you build along here. What are you doing exactly? What's the decorative piece that you're throwing in here? So let me just get a couple of this section started on here. And of course, Lego, the mini bags. Also, you think I don't need to open that one just yet? Yes, I do, because it requires a one by one little stud piece to the build. But I don't want to get frustrated with Lego. This is brick therapy. This is why we do the Lego collecting and Lego building. Yeah, the 30 to 40% Star Wars tax. I know, isn't it getting crazy, John Powell? I mean, it's not like it was that great before, but now it's just insane. Then they got several excuses that they can add to it with inflation and tariffs, and now the increase in oil prices, which, you know, oil's used to make plastics. Oh boy, Justin Morrison, welcome, Justin. Good to see you here on the tail end here of the live stream. Just getting a couple of the parts of the actual structure of the temple, Tournament Temple City, built, so these pieces are not as shaky or loose. And I like the diagonal kind of effect going on here. So everything's not just right angles. This is kind of cool Lego technique, or Lego build techniques. Of course, there are a lot more specialty pieces when you have doorways like this. You can kind of build at angles, but that's what I'm talking about right here. Or actually, better to see it that way. A little angular parts or angular effect of the slope pieces there. So feeling like making some progress now that I got the structure part down. But yeah, that Ewok Village, I'm gonna, actually, let me look that up. I'm so curious now. What is it priced on Bricklink? The old Ewok Village, unless Bricklink is doing maintenance. System unavailable? Are you serious? It's been down for over a day. Never mind, Bricklink. Did something happen to the Bricklink system? Once they announced the next series of designer sets, you can't go on the website. So what's going on there? Whatever, Bricklink. Uh-oh. So now I'm talking about stuff that my stream freeze on me. Okay, good. Tavai says there's only one Aaron. Fun fact, Aaron's name is Aaron, A-R-I-N. Nivid, Jay's name is Jay Walker. Naya and Kai both are Smith. Frack's name is Frack Slitherbottom. That's so fun, Tavia. Psh, love the facts. Of course, Lego profits went up 12% the last quarter. Yeah, there's that slight overlooked fact, isn't there, John Powell? You know, you gotta wonder too with Lego or pretty much any of the big corporate businesses, do they just do a numbers game and say, well, how do we make our numbers show even more growth? It's not a publicly owned company either. And so that is some serious profit going back into the company itself. Obviously, they make a good product. However, I will say more and more, their product has been, I don't know, sort of losing out on some quality, depending on what sets you get, broken pieces or whatever. I've heard more about that. And then I don't know if it's common for a lot of people, but apparently a lot more people are getting sets with missing pieces. So I don't know, but you know, when Lego's making that much money, literally hand over fist, they got to figure something out that they deal with there. But as far as the company, their customer service is awesome. I've had so much good help from them, and when I've needed whatever, they've given me insider points when I bought Lego and the so-called Lego license stores, but they weren't Lego stores specifically when we lived in Spain. So yeah, a lot of stuff they've been really good with customer service, but man, they are making the money. Gonna build, says Tavia. Psh. Well, thanks everyone for joining me on this Wednesday live stream, or Tuesday live stream. My goodness, Wednesday for some of you though. And we will see you soon, and we'll continue to build the tournament, Temple City. Thanks to Tommy for being here for the duration, for being our mod throughout, for John Powell coming in halfway through, for Tavia giving us all that cool background. So grateful for you guys each time I live stream, seeing your names pop up. John Powell says, I've still never seen a single Lego set that was actually missing a piece. I've had two. One, I can actually, out of the two, I think maybe one actually was missing a piece. One we found later. I don't know, but yeah. So thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, Tommy Bricks. Let me pin that, you know, for posterity's sake, just in case people watch this live stream later on. Have a good evening or a good start to your Wednesday.